Ang lesson natin ngayon ay tungkol sa definite integral. So, an integral of the type, the integral from a to b of f of x dx is called definite integral. So, ganito siya basahin, ano? The integral from a to b of f of x dx is called definite integral, where a is called lower limit of integration and b is called upper limit of integration. So this is how to evaluate definite integral. So the integral from a to b of f of x dx equals f of x to be evaluated from a to b, and it is equal to f of b minus f of a. Makita natin dito na yung ating result ng integral ng f of x dx ay walang plus c. So, yung plus c kasi na yon ay hindi na masyadong importante sa topic na ito, no, kahit hindi na ilagay, dahil sa process ng pag-evaluate ng f of x from a to b, yung c ay ma-eliminate. Okay? So, pakita natin kung paano yon. So, ito no. So, we have the integral from a to b of f of x dx equals f of x plus c. So, to be evaluated from a to b. So, it is equal to f of b minus f of c. So, pag f of b yung ating kukuhanin, ano, yung x ay papalitan natin ng b. Kaya magkakaroon tayo ng f of b plus c. And then minus. So, dahil two terms to, so yung kasunod dapat, dahil ito ay negative, yung kasunod dapat ay naka-group, ano, naka-enclose sa grouping symbols. So, minus f of a. So, yung x naman natin ay papalitan ng a. Kaya magiging f of a and then plus c. Kaya rin, no, tatanggalin natin yung grouping symbols na yan. So, magiging negative f of a. Tapos, magiging negative c. So, c minus c, cancel siya, no? So, matitira ay f of b minus f of a. Kaya yung integral from a to b of f of x dx equals f of x to be evaluated from a to b. So, hindi na kailangan pang isulat yung plus c. Okay, so let us have example on how to evaluate definite integrals. Ano? So this is our example number 1. The integral from negative 1 to 3 of 4x squared minus 2x plus 3 dx. So yung ating a ay negative 1 at yung b naman natin ay positive 3. So una, i-integrate muna natin yung ating given, ano? So, meron tayong integral of 4x squared ay 4x cubed over 3. Magkakaroon tayo ng 4 over 3 and then x cubed. And then, minus 2x squared over 2. No, integral of 2x dx is minus 2x squared over 2. So, cancel ang 2. So, matitiran lang ay minus x squared. Minus x squared. And then integral of 3 dx is 3x. So plus 3x. Okay? So to be evaluated from negative 1 to positive 3. So negative 1 to positive 3. Okay, next. Ang gagawin natin ngayon ay evaluate na natin siya from negative 1 to positive 3. So, ito yung b natin, ito yung ating a. So, una ay f of b. That is when x is positive 3. So, lahat ng x papalitan natin ng positive 3. So, I will have 4 over 3 and then 3 raised to 3. 3 raised to 3 and then minus 3 squared and then plus 3 times 3. So plus 3 times 3. And then minus f of a. No. Sa a naman, yung mga x naman ay papalitan natin ng negative 1. So meron tayong 4 over 3. And then negative 1 cubed. And then minus negative 1 squared. And then plus 3. And then times negative 1. Kaya nun ay isi-simplify natin. Okay? So meron tayong 3 cancel, no? So 3 squared is 9 times 4 is 36. So magkakaroon tayo ng 36. And then minus 3 squared ay 9. So minus 9. And then 3 times 3 ay 9. So plus 9. And then minus negative 1 cubed is negative 1 times 4 thirds is negative 4 thirds. Okay? Negative 1 squared is positive 1 times negative is negative 1. And then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Okay? So here, cancel 9, no? So matitira na lang ay 36. And then minus, no? So minus times negative 4 thirds, positive 4 thirds. This one is negative 1 plus negative 3 is negative 4. So times negative is plus 4. So 4 times of 4 plus 36 ay 40. And then plus 4 over 3. And then 3 times 40 equals 120. So 120 and then plus 4 over 3. So the answer is 124 over 3. So I will have 124 over 3. Answer. So this is equal to the integral from negative 1 to 3 of 4x squared minus 2x and then plus 3 dx. So the answer is 124 over 3. So definite integral dahil ang sagot natin ay definite, 124 over 3. Okay, example number 2 tayo. So meron tayong integral from 0 to 1 of x squared plus e raised to 3x dx divided by x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x. So una, integrate muna natin, ano? So dito, ang derivative ng x cubed ay 3x squared. Ang derivative naman ng 6 ay 0. Ang derivative ng e raised to 3x ay 3e raised to 3x. So yung numerator natin ay derivative siya ng, makakuha tayo ng derivative ng denominator. Kaya itong integral na ito ay leading to natural logarithm, integral of du over u. Okay, so dito, let u equals the denominator. X cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x. So x cubed plus 6 and then plus e raised to 3x. And then the derivative du equals 3x squared dx. Derivative of 6 is 0, and then derivative of e raised to 3x is 3, and then e raised to 3x dx. So there is a common factor, 3n dx, no? 3n dx. So let us factor out 3n dx. So I will have du equals 3, and then times x squared plus e raised to 3x, and then times dx. And then let us solve now x squared plus e raised to 3x dx in terms of du. So multiply both sides by 1/3. So 1/3 du equals x squared plus e raised to 3x times dx. Okay, so after that, let us write the problem in terms of u. So we have integral from 0 to 1. So x squared plus e raised to 3x dx, it is equal to 1/3 du. So 1/3 of du. So 1/3 and then du. So our x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x equals u. So I will have divided by u. And then 1/3 is constant. We may write it before the integral sign. So 1/3 integral from 0 to 1 of du over u. So this is now integrable, and the integral of du over u is ln of u. So it is equal to 1/3 and then ln of u from 0 to 1. And then after that, substitute the value of u. Our u is x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x. So we will have 1/3 ln of u, x cubed, and then plus 6, and then plus e raised to 3x, e raised to 3x, and then it is to be evaluated from 0 to 1. So our a is 0, our b is 1. Let us now evaluate 1/3 ln of x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x from 0 to 1. So I will have 1/3, the constant. So when x is 1, all x should be replaced by 1. So I will have ln of 1 cubed, and then plus 6, and then plus e raised to 3, and then times 1. So this is our f of b minus f of a, that is when x is 0. So I will have the constant 1/3, 1/3, and then ln of, and then this time x will be replaced by 0. So I will have, when x is 0, so this will become 0, and then plus 6, and then plus, and then e raised to 3 times 0 is 0. So I will have e raised to 0. Okay? So I will have 1/3. And then 1 cubed is 1. Plus 6 is 7. So ln of 7. E raised to 3 times 1 is e raised to 3. So plus e raised to 3. And then minus 1/3. This 1/3. And then ln of. And then 0 plus 6 is 6. And then e raised to 0 is 1. So we will have 6 plus 1. Okay, so here there is a common factor 1/3. So let us factor out 1/3. So 1/3. And then times. And then we have ln of 7, and then plus e raised to 3, and then minus ln of 6 plus 1 is 7. Ln of 7. And then after that, let us apply logarithm of a quotient. So we will have 1/3 ln of 7 plus e cubed, 7 plus e cubed divided by 7. So this is now our answer. So the integral from 0 to 1 of x squared plus e raised to 3x dx divided by x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x equals 1/3 ln of 7 plus e cubed over 7. Okay, so let us have another solution to our example number 2. So we have integral from 0 to 1 of x squared plus e raised to 3x dx divided by x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x. So let u equals x cubed plus 6e raised to 3x. So let u equals x cubed plus 6 and then plus e raised to 3x. Plus e raised to 3x. And then du equals 3x squared dx. Derivative of 6 is 0. And then e raised to 3x, the derivative is 3 e raised to 3x dx. So I will have du equals 3 times x squared plus e raised to 3x dx. Okay, so multiply both sides by 1/3 so that we can solve for x squared plus e raised to 3x dx. So I will have 1/3 du equals x squared plus e raised to 3x dx. Okay. So, ang kasunod natin gagawin ay susulat natin yung problem in terms of u. So, we will have integral. So, yung x squared plus e raised to 3x dx ay equal siya sa 1/3 du. So, yung 1/3 ay constant, lalabas natin siya. So, magkakaroon tayo ng 1/3 du. Okay? And then we have the division line. And then we have x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x. And that's equal to u. So I will have over u. No? Ngayon, yung lower limit na 0 at saka yung upper limit na 1 ay limits in terms of x. So dahil nilipat natin yung problem natin in terms of u, lipat din natin yung ating limits in terms of u. No? Okay? So dito, buhat dito, from u equals x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x. So, limits in terms of u. Sulat ko muna, no? So solve natin yung limits natin in terms of u. Okay? So, from u equals x squared or x cubed rather, from here x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x plus 6 plus e raised to 3x. So para sa lower limit in terms of u, so when x is 0, yung ating lower limit in terms of x. No, yun. So when x is 0, ang u natin equals 0 plus 6 plus e raised to 0. So we will have u equals 6 plus 1, no? 6 plus 1 equals 7. So, ito yung ating lower limit in terms of u. Equals sa 7. Para naman sa upper limit in terms of u, so that is when x equals 1. No? So, when x is 1. So, when x equals 1. So, mula uli rito, magkakaroon tayo ng u equals 1 cubed is 1, and then plus 6, and then plus e raised to 3. E raised to 3 times 1, no, is e raised to 3. So, we will have u equals 7 plus e raised to 3. Okay. So let us now write the limits in our problem. So lower limit in terms of u equals sa 7. 7 ito. So ito magiging from 7. At yung upper limit naman natin in terms of u ay 7 plus e cubed. So, 7 plus e cubed. Okay? And then let us integrate. So, I will have 1/3, no? And then, integral of du over u is ln of u. Ln of u. So, this time, it is to be evaluated now from 7 to 7 plus e cubed. So 7 plus e cubed. Okay? So when u is 7 plus e cubed, we will have 1/3, no? 1/3, and then ln of 7 plus e cubed. 7 plus e cubed. So this is our f of d. And then minus f of a, that is when u equals 7. No? So 1/3, and then ln of 7. So there is a common factor 1/3, So, lalabas natin. So, 1/3 and then times ln of 7 and then plus e cubed and then minus ln of 7. Okay? And then after that, let us apply logarithm of a quotient. So, I will have 1/3 and then ln of, and then we have 7 plus e cubed and then divided by 7. So this is now the answer. So the integral from 0 to 1 of x squared plus e raised to 3x dx divided by x cubed plus 6 plus e raised to 3x is equal to 1/3 ln of 7 plus e cubed over 7. Example number 3, nasa definite integral pa rin tayo, no? The integral from pi over 2 to pi of sine cube of theta cosine squared of theta d theta. Okay. So, dito sa sine cubed of theta, kukuha tayo ng isang sine, tapos yung matitirang sine squared, ililipat natin sa cosine squared. So, equal din ito sa integral from pi over 2 to pi of sine squared of theta. And then cosine squared of theta. And then times sine theta d theta. Okay? So, yung sine cubed ay sine squared times sine. Tapos yung sine squared, lilipat natin sa cosine squared. So, yung sine squared equals sa 1 minus cosine squared of theta. Okay. We will have integral from pi over 2 to pi 1 minus cosine squared. So, 1 minus cosine squared of theta. And then times cosine squared theta. And then sine theta d theta. Sine theta d theta. After that, multiply natin sa loob, ano? Tapos pag-iwalayin natin yung integration ng bawat term. So, meron tayong integral pi over 2 to pi. So, cosine squared times sine times 1 and then yung d theta, no? So, magkakaroon tayo ng cosine squared of theta and then sine theta d theta. And then minus. And then cosine squared times cosine squared is cosine to the 4th. So, integral from pi over 2 to pi of cosine to the 4th of theta. And then sine theta d theta. And then, by power rule, ano, pwede nating ma-solve yung integral ng dalawang term nito. Ang derivative ng cosine ay negative sine. So, meron tayong sine. So, pwede siyang ma-integrate by power rule. So, let u, no, equals cosine of theta. So, ang du natin equals negative sine theta d theta. So, negative du equals sine theta d theta. Okay, sulat natin ngayon yung limits na pi over 2 at pi in terms of u. No? From u equals cosine theta. From u equals cosine of theta. So, una, when theta is pi over 2. When theta equals pi over 2. So, I will have u equals cosine of pi over 2. Cosine pi over 2. So, let us draw the unit circle. So, drawing natin yung unit circle natin. So, nandito yung pi over 2. At ang coordinates natin dito ay x ay 0, ang y ay 1. Nandito naman yung pi natin. Ang x coordinate natin dito ay negative 1. At ang y coordinate natin ay 0. So, cosine pi over 2, so, equal siya sa x coordinate. So, cosine pi over 2 equals 0. So, u equals 0. And then, when theta equals pi, our upper limit, and theta equals pi. So, kakaroon tayo, u equals cosine pi. So, u equals cosine of pi. And cosine of pi equals to the x coordinate. Now, cosine of pi is negative 1. So, u equals negative 1. Okay? So, let us now write these integrals in terms of u. So, mga ito. So, una, so we will have integral. So, the lower limit in terms of u now equals a 0. And then the upper limit in terms of u is negative 1. Okay? And then we have cosine squared. And cosine is equal to u. Kaya magiging u